What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Christian Cage's All Elite, Mr. McMahon's reaction to the Big Show signing with All Elite Wrestling, wrestlers and fans troll AEW's Limp finish, Jim Johnston blasts the current WWE music, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Now our first story looks at Christian Cage being All Elite. All Elite Wrestling has signed former WWE superstar Christian, who appeared at last night's AEW Revolution pay-per-view, briefly to sign a contract. Christian didn't say anything, no doubt because AEW wants to have him make his first interview on Dynamite. AEW President Tony Khan spoke about Christian Cage signing with AEW, providing the details during the media scrum that followed Revolution. He's in great physical condition, and we saw him very recently compete on pay-per-view. There was a lot of interest in it. It generated a lot of interest, and he was interested in wrestling on a regular basis. And he gave me a call and said, "I'd really like to come and wrestle in AEW for you." And I said, "I'd really like to have you come and wrestle for me." It all came together great, and I think it's going to be really good. Khan praised Christian's work and capabilities, saying he's had great matches in different companies. He's been a great singles wrestler, a great tag champion, and I think he's one of the best minds in wrestling. And for more information on Christian's signing, be sure to check out our recent video on why he signed with AEW and left WWE. Next up, Vince McMahon's reaction to the Big Show signing with AEW. Now, as big as Christian Cage's signing with AEW is, fans are still talking about the Big Show, aka Paul White's unexpected jump to All Elite. Recently, White discussed Mr. McMahon's reaction, and the response may surprise you. White appeared at Revolution's post-game media scrum explaining what happened. Here's the thing, Vince actually called me the day it was announced that I signed with AEW, wished me a lot of luck, agreed that I'm a big asset to AEW, and thanked me for all the years I worked in WWE. There was no animosity, there's no dirt, so to speak. This just came down to, contract negotiations and opportunities. Let's face it, over 20 years in WWE, I've done everything there is to do in WWE. I need a fresh start, and for me, Vince understands that and understands me as a talent, and this was an opportunity for me to do that. The Big Show's comments about doing everything he possibly could in the WWE also applies to Christian, who seemed to have nothing planned in WWE other than a nostalgia tour with Edge. They obviously left money on the table though, as there was much more he could do. But whether fans like AEW, dislike it, or is indifferent, the presence of a second national wrestling promotion provides additional opportunities for wrestlers ranging from rookies to veterans. Next up, Chris Jericho blasts WWE's treatment of legends. The WWE's treatment of its legends has garnered criticism from fans, with Raw's January Legends Night serving as an example of how the WWE likes to embarrass its legends in order to get current stars over. Some fans are still hot over how Randy Orton humiliated Ric Flair, The Big Show, and Mark Henry. And not only are fans upset, but so are some wrestlers. Chris Jericho recently shared his view on how the WWE treats its legends and how AEW treats them. These are guys that were kind of almost insulted in their WWE runs. Sting and White were not treated with too much respect over the last few years. We treat our legends with respect. We don't make jokes out of them, and the WWE is notorious for that. Whether it's Sting, Paul White, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Jake Roberts, Dustin Rhodes, throwing Chris Jericho. He added, "We know how to treat our legendary performers with respect and make them all look great and make them all worthy of being in AEW, because if they aren't worthy of being in AEW, why would they be there?" And one of the reasons some fans believe the Big Show left the WWE was due to how the WWE had Randy Orton embarrass him on Legends Night, and while AEW has had angles where legends have been beaten up, such as the Rock and Roll Express, they are the exception rather than the rule. Next up, wrestlers and fans troll Revolution's Limp finish. And while Christian Cage's surprise signing seems to have gone over well with wrestling fans, the finish to Revolution's exploding barbed wire deathmatch, didn't. In case you missed it, Kenny Omega defended the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley in a match where the ring was set to explode at the 30-minute mark. Omega won the match thanks to some help from the Good Brothers and left a handcuffed and beaten down Moxley in the ring while the clock ticked down. Eddie Kingston tried to make the save but was only able to shield Moxley's body with his own. Fans waiting for a terrifying explosion got the equivalent of a fart in a jacuzzi. The big blowout fans had hoped for was instead a combination of smoke and sparklers, quite the anticlimactic finish. I swear AEW said it was a bonfire kit. and the match's finish had garnered plenty of laughs and jokes online, and it's clear that fans are laughing at AEW and not with them. Straight after the match, Moxley even mentioned the Limp finish, saying Kenny Omega might be a bad son of a bitch, but he can't build an exploding ring worth a shit. Even Tony Khan wasted no time after the show, commenting that AEW would work the dud finish into a storyline. Bodyslam.net's tweet summarizing Khan's statement suggests the bumbled explosion will be laid at Omega's feet. Khan said they did a lot of tests for safety and precautions with the fire marshal and revealed that the story itself gives an out for the dud of an explosion, with Kenny being the one constructing it. Khan also discussed how AEW could only create so much of an explosion out of concern for wrestlers. The problem is that AEW hyped a big gimmick match and, well, didn't deliver the finish. While it's encouraging that they didn't take big risks with the finish, they shouldn't have gone through with it if they knew it was going to end so badly. Contrast this with WWE's Firefly Inferno match at 2019's TLC pay-per-view, where the WWE gave a spectacular finish with the Fiend being set on fire. Unlike past Inferno matches, the Fiend didn't have an arm or leg lit up before losing. Instead, they had a fiery finish, including Randy Orton adding fuel to the fire and turning the Fiend into a human torch. Our wrestlers and fans quickly took to Twitter to mock the ending, as Retribution's T-Bar tweeted that Raw would have an explosive finish. And whilst we can't play it due to copyright, my favourite meme had to be the scene accompanied with the Titanic music. Like, why was Kingston selling? What did you guys think of the finish of the match? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Jim Johnston blasts WWE's theme music. And Jim Johnston spent 32 years in the WWE, helping to create some of its most unforgettable theme music, ranging from entrance music for The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Undertaker, as well as pay-per-view themes. However, Johnston's WWE career ended in 2017 when he was future endeavored, and as far as Johnston is concerned, the WWE's current theme music is a disaster. He spoke with Lucha Libre Online, sharing his thoughts, saying, "While I told you before this interview that I don't do trash talking, but the closest I'll get to being critical is that absolutely I want to slap Vince upside the head. The music is so bad. These days it's just sound effects and noises and stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with the characters and the storylines anymore. That's the essence of this business, and that's currently lost. I don't get it." He was upfront about his satisfaction about how bad the current theme music is, but he also knows it plays a huge part in a wrestler getting over. I hate to say this, but there's a certain satisfaction that the music in WWE now is so bad, because it makes me feel better about what I did contribute. It does make me feel bad for a bunch of wrestlers, because without good music, you can't become a big star. I don't believe it's possible. And Johnston detailed why entrance music plays such an important role in a wrestler getting over. The music is just like a score in a movie. It's what leads the fans' emotions. It's a very visceral, very deeply emotional connection. That's always what I went for. Now, that's missing. How do you think WWE's current entrance themes compare to the ones Johnston worked on? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.